Hey there, DH here with Technological Gadgets, bringing you the best in tech and making it work for you. On this channel, we usually do tech reviews, but sometimes, we like to check out other people's setups. And this video in particular, we're going to be checking out this setup from this really popular YouTuber called Jimmy Tries World, and apparently his new and updated, clean, minimal and functional, multi-computer sort of work from home desk setup. So I guess it's more geared for productivity. So if you like these types of videos, make sure to drop me a like to let me know, and comment down below whose setups you'd like me to check out next. I'm really interested to always check out other people's setups. That is really interesting to me. And if you like these types of videos that I make, make sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And last but not least, let's get right into the video.
My desk setup is a place that I spend the vast majority of my time around. I'm here constantly for my day job and then all the YouTube stuff that I do at night.
Okay,
so to me, it just has to look and feel great to be around. And to be honest, I wasn't getting that with this setup.
Ooh.
It was a theme I aimed for, but I wasn't consistent. It's been a year, but this is what I came up with. Well,
that's nice.
Let's get started. This video is sponsored by Autonomous. Since working from home, I find myself wanting to stand up and stretch, but oftentimes I still need work to get done, or I still have to focus on something that's on the computer. That's where the Autonomous Smart Desk Connect comes in.
Hey, that's pretty nice. I guess he's probably using this desk for his setup.
Buttons for memorized positions and can hold
that's actually
up to
quite
350 pounds.
Damn, that's a lot of weight.
The ability to be controlled through your smartphone. This is a desk setup I haven't shown on the channel yet because it's still a work in progress. But I really like being able to adjust the desk to how I'm working. If I want to be able to stretch while I work, I can increase the height of the desk, and then my screen and keyboard are easily accessible again. If you're curious about Autonomous standing desks,
wow, okay, that's actually kind of nice.
Check out the link in the video description.
But I guess it's secondary setup. Yeah, but we'll check out his main setup.
This desk setup. I wanted a space that was dark and moody at night, but still looked great during the day. I wanted the overall vibe of the room to be consistent from wall to wall, and the desk needed to feel like it was meant to be in this room instead of being a mismatched setup of tech, kind of like it is here. And don't forget about the wires. Tech creates a ton of wire clutter, so I need a way to either hide the wires or remove them to make the space feel much more cleaner. I also need a way to properly organize my junk. What I quickly learned is that if you don't have easy to reach places to put stuff away, all of your crap just ends up on top of the desk, cluttering.
That is very true, and that is kind of how my setup looks like now.
Focused. I wanted to be able to quickly swap between my work laptop and personal laptop, so quick swapping them was a priority. But now I primarily use my Mac Studio for my YouTube related tasks, and that's a desktop. So the setup has to be desktop centric, but able to quickly accommodate a laptop on the fly. So it's going to get a bit more complex there. So to sum up my goals,
it's a laptop, for on the go,
simplify the setup overall,
Mac Studio for
functionality and add organization, and making sure it stays more consistent with the theme that I had in mind.
Okay.
So
yeah, that makes sense.
We'll be doing basically grayscale, black, white, and gray, then bringing in color with some wood tones. Why black, gray, and white? Well, that's a pretty easy color to work with, since a lot of tech are those colors, giving me a bit more flexibility, while wood makes it feel a bit more natural and human again, instead of a high-tech Stormtrooper or Tron type vibe. That's not my thing. If it's your thing, cool, but for me, nah. If there's any products I mentioned in this video that you end up wanting to check out, there will be links in the video description below. So to make sure this setup looks exactly like how I wanted, I ripped everything off of the desk and basically started from scratch, with just the standing desk itself and the Grove-made desk shelf. I used this as my foundation. I like both of these and wanted to continue using them, and they matched my overall theme. From there, I tore down the Felt-Right panels I installed on the walls because I felt the panels no longer fit the aesthetic I wanted in this room, and the sound dampening benefits I was getting from them was not worth how they looked. They were thin and did help with sound, but not to the level that I liked. From there, I painted the light gray wall a bright white. This color is Chantilly lace in matte.
Benjamin Moore.
From there, I mounted two 32-inch 4K IPS LG Ergo monitors, which come with LG's fantastic Argo
Okay,
monitor
that's
arm
actually a
to the desk.
pretty
What
good
really
one, I
like
would
about
say.
these is the fact that they have USB-C for power, a USB hub, and display support all through this one single USB-C cable. This means you can plug in your laptop into this, charge it, and use the display and the built-in USB ports on the back of this monitor pretty much all at once. To make this monitor sound even more fantastic, it has cable management built into the stand.
That's pretty nice,
cleaning up the
actually.
mess off my desk. Since these monitors are so big, and there's two of them, I like to angle them in a V-type shape instead of being just straight up flat. In this V shape, I can see the corners a lot
guess
better
so.
in my peripheral, but when
It
it's just
depends.
straight head-on flat, it makes it hard to see the corners without moving.
Yeah, you
my
can put
entire
one in.
field. From there, I
I
installed
actually
a Stream
would
Deck XL.
I actually would recommend him to put like yeah, to put like one in the center right here and then one off to the side. And then, you know, maybe his laptop could be off to another side. And let's say his main monitor, one monitor centered, right? And then off to the side, another monitor, and then after off to the other side, he could, you know, put up a laptop stand, you know, for his laptop. So in that way, you know, he could have essentially 3 monitors in a way, while having one monitor centered, which is I personally think, you know, it's just much better. But hey, that's me. So yeah,
Moving,
but that's what I would recommend.
From there, I installed a Stream Deck XL and placed it right in
Okay.
the middle of the desk. I don't stream, but the Stream Deck makes a fantastic productivity tool. It provides
That
me
is
with
true.
macro and shortcuts to quickly do the things I want to do.
That is true.
If I want to open up the login screen for my NAS, I press a single button. Do I want to open a specific email address? I press a single button. If I want to control my Hue smart lights, I can do that with a press of a button. It also gives me media controls for different applications like Spotify, and I can even create hotkeys and macros for pretty much any software I use, like Final Cut Pro. I think it's been a great addition to this desk setup, but if I were to redo
For productivity.
I'd probably get the standard size Stream Deck, because what I didn't know about the Stream Decks, and I honestly should have done more research before purchasing the XL model, is that you can create more pages on the screen. So there's absolutely no need for the XL unless you're some super user with hotkey commitment issues and need all of those hotkeys. And the main machine powering this entire setup is
Yeah, but I
Mac
guess for
Studio,
power user,
which
it's
surprisingly
it's pretty
fits
nice.
right underneath the monitor. It's such a tiny machine that it was easy to find a place.
Yeah,
on
that's
this
actually pretty
desk
cool.
That made it look good.
It could
and
center
it's been
in the
fantastic
middle.
for
I don't know.
machine.
That's
Right
my
beside it is
a
the
personal
Nomad
opinion.
PlayStation charging pad. The reason I went with this specific charging pad is because it was the only one that really fit my needs. Charging pads come in so many different shapes.
Yeah, that is
and
true. That is
sizes,
very true.
even at different angles, right? But what I needed was one that matched the theme of this setup, could charge 2 devices at once, and have additional ports to charge other devices as well. And I really couldn't find any charging pad that met all that criteria except for this particular one. So while
Okay.
it is a bit pricey, the fact that
But
does
isn't it
everything
pretty
that I
far
need it
to
do
reach,
and
I would
looks
say?
good doing it, makes it pretty much worth it to me. From there, I started using the Audient Evo 4 audio interface to control my Shure SM7B because aesthetically it matched the setup perfectly, but also because it has a smart gain mode which automatically sets the levels of the microphone based on how loud the audio is. The SM7B is mounted
that's actually
on a
quite
Blue
nice.
Compass mic arm. I went with this one because it's minimal, cleans up the cables, and overall feels solid. The budget options off Amazon and even the popular Rode PSA-1 look a bit busier with the gaps within the frame, so that's
Ooh,
why
okay,
I
okay.
kind of
I guess
prefer the minimal
people's-
look of the Blue Compass. Everyone
You
who
know.
has the Mac Studio or owns monitors with built-in speakers knows that the audio coming out of those devices usually aren't the best. So I ended up purchasing the Kanto U2 speakers, and they
Oh,
really
yeah, the
leveled up
YU2.
the audio
Those are
potential
pretty
of this
popular,
bass compared to monitor
and nice
speakers.
looking
Obviously,
speakers.
these aren't the best, but still a huge upgrade. They also fit the
Definitely.
look real nicely. These aren't endgame speakers by any means, but I think it's a good stepping stone to when I eventually want to upgrade to something much better that will one day bankrupt me and make me sell everything. Now let's talk about the accessories I have laying around the desk. I'm using a Grove-made merino wool desk mat with some matching coasters and a leather mount.
actually pretty nice.
Grove-made has some really cool stuff that just consistently fits my aesthetic, so there's a lot of their stuff.
Yeah,
On top of that, I
definitely.
have the Keychron K2, but I swapped the key switches for the Boba U4Ts. Alongside it is
Oh, okay.
the
A bit of
Logitech
customization, I
MX2S,
see.
which is a pretty interesting mouse. The previous versions all had a higher pitched standard like click sound when you pressed on them, but this version has a more muted, deeper sound, making it overall quieter and nicer to use in really sensitive of environments. Something I
Okay.
almost forgot, when I edit videos or edit thumbnails, I actually prefer to use a trackpad over a mouse because it makes it easier to zoom in and out and scroll sideways more accurately.
Actually, what I would recommend, right, is to have the let's say his keyboard is in the middle, right? He can have the trackpad off to the left side and his mouse off to the right side. So this way he can use the trackpad, in conjunction with the mouse while having his keyboard, in his setup. And in case he just needs to use his mouse pad, he can always just reach over and use it instead of having to pull it out, replace it, and stuff like that. But that's just my opinion. It just makes it much easier, in my opinion.
Good for web pages, but not good on a Final Cut Pro timeline. So I have an Apple Magic trackpad in black stored away in this Grove made tray made for this specific monitor stand. So confession time. I'm sort of a coffee addict, so I drink a lot of coffee in the morning. I've been trying to cut back, but it hasn't been successful. And because of that, on the top of my desk, there is a charging pad for my Ember mug.
Oh, especially if you like hot coffee.
Honestly,
I personally love cold brew, so
Ember
this is
brand
probably not for
product as a
me.
whole,
But yeah.
because it's a nice mug with a lot of features, but it only holds up to 10 or 14 ounces of beverage, depending on the size, and it's also not dishwasher safe. And you can't buy the mug separately, so it's always bundled with the charging
not
pad,
dishwasher
and the
safe.
battery doesn't last that long when it's off the charging pad. Overall though, it works, but honestly, it's really expensive for what it is. Maybe my addiction will be curbed if I just take off the charging pad and just let the coffee get cold. Between the monitors is a monopod mounted to the Grove made desk shelf that I primarily use to mount whatever item I need to use in that moment. For example, if I want to use one of my cameras for a video call while I'm sitting at the desk, I can quickly swivel the monitor arms away and attach the camera onto the monopod. I can use it to hold lights, microphones, or whatever.
Isn't it quite a hassle? Why wouldn't you have it extended all the way and have like a quick release mount like on top, and then have a quick release mount on your camera? So when you need to use it, you just clip it on, or like a light, you can just like just clip it on. Like, wouldn't it be much easier like that, in my opinion? But I don't know though. Let me know what you think.
Arms away and attach the camera onto the on a standard threaded mount of a camera. It's come in handy many times. So now that you know everything this desk has to offer, how am I using it? Basically, while I love doing what I do on YouTube, I still have a full-time job that I do most of the week. And with that full-time job, I need to use the company issued laptop. But after work, I want to be able to just use this space strictly for YouTube. So beneath this desk, I have a USB 3 switch with
I actually have the same exact one.
The mic and the speakers and whatever else I plug into it, so that I can easily switch between.
Yeah, maybe I should
when I
do something
use
like
a
that.
laptop with this setup, I place it under the desk shelf and take the USB-C cables hidden behind the Stream Deck and plug those in, giving whatever laptop I have plugged in full access to everything this setup has to offer. And whenever I want to use the Mac Studio, I just switch the display input and press the switch, and now everything's connected to the Mac Studio. Looking at this, you can probably tell the cables must have been a mess.
True.
And it was. I try to make sure to tidy up the cables
Oh, that
as much
looks
as possible
way nicer though.
by using these adhesive back straps. And
Ah,
command strips to
okay,
mount
okay.
Power bricks underneath the desk. I spent probably a good 3 to 4 hours total just making sure all the cables were going to the right place and that the connections were working properly. It wasn't fun. This makes it look clean from the front and from the top, while your mess of cables is organized and routed in the back of the desk and under it. If you're using a power strip with a standing desk, I highly recommend that you purchase a power strip with a long power cord so that you can mount the power strip underneath your desk. Because if you leave your power strip on the ground, you'll have to make sure the power cables for all of your stuff that is sitting on top of the desk is long enough to reach the ground when your desk is elevated or at its highest position. And even then, you'd have a mess of cables on the ground, all leading to your power strip. If you want it to look as clean as possible, you'll want to mount a power strip underneath the desk and plug things in from there. This way, only one cable is visible from the ground.
They probably tuck it behind the leg.
Power strip, unless of course you have an Ethernet port as well. I found that the best way to mount power strips or even big and bulky power adapters for your monitors is to use command strips or adhesive Velcro. Those items ended up working the best for me. So with most standing desks, you end up with a nice minimal looking desk, but no real storage space to organize your pens, pencils, extra charging cables, whatever. So to mitigate this very specific issue,
Okay.
I added an IKEA Scatus pegboard to
Oh,
the
yeah, that's actually a really
with
good
some cups
idea.
and
I'm
hooks
thinking of
or
looking to get
anything
one
that
of
I
these as
don't
well.
want cluttering
Like
up
on
the
this
desk.
side
Because
of
this
my
is
wall,
behind
like
the standing desk,
specifically, as
I
you
make
can
sure
see.
that nothing will hit the pegboard when the desk is elevated to its highest height. To even out the other side of the wall, I put up a frame of a dissected iPhone 7 from
Oh,
Grid Studio. Grid Studio makes these cool
looks
dissected
pretty
frames
cool
for
though.
smartphones and gaming handhelds too. So if you're interested in that, check them out. I think I have.
It actually
their
looks
link in
really
the
cool, to be
description.
honest.
If not, post in the comments and I can put that up too. They got some really cool stuff, and honestly, I've been tempted to get more. Okay, so that's the current desk setup. It's been a work in progress for
Especially
the
with
last
light tech and
but I
art at the
think
same
it's
time.
complete now.
Nice.
And honestly, I really like how it looks, and functionally, it's so much better now. And normally, this is the part of the video where I think of things I would change about it if I could. And
Okay,
right
we
now,
always like to hear.
honestly, I can't think of too many things I would do. Actually, maybe like a floor mat for my chair. The carpet is starting to lose all of its look because of the rolling back and forth I've been doing. It's not looking good. Okay,
Good
for
idea.
real though, I hope this journey into my desk setup provided you with some inspiration for your own desk setups too. It's tough making sure everything goes to your plan and for it to look as good as you imagine it in your mind. But honestly, I'm pretty happy about how this all came out. Anyway, what do you personally think? Are you updating your own desk setups? What are you
I'm
looking to
actually
do?
updating
Did this
my
video
own.
help you with any ideas for yourself? What stuck out the most to you? Leave all that in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and well, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you all next time. Bye. Real though, I hope this journey.
Okay, so this is a good shot of his desk. So what I would personally improve about his desk setup. Okay, personally, there are some things that I improve about his desk setup. Maybe having, you know, the one of the monitors being centered could be pretty nice. Having the monitor centered, having the Mac Studio centered underneath the desk, and having the sort of the phone charger off to, you know, your left hand side on the top could be pretty nice as well. And you know, the other, so basically the main monitor facing here, the secondary monitor on your right side, and then maybe a laptop stand, you know, instead of putting it underneath your underneath the tray, you can have maybe another mount, you know, for your laptop, and have it, you know, your with a laptop, so called like a laptop mount on a monitor mount, and your laptop right here. So, and you know, having it, you know, at eye level, so this way main monitor, secondary monitor, and your laptop, so you can use your laptop display as like a third monitor for your computer that way. But overall, I, you know, and also instead of, you know, shifting out your mouse or a trackpad every time, put your trackpad on the left side of your keyboard. That could be also a really nice thing. Yeah, but anyways, aside from that, and for the center sort of mount, I would honestly bring it up to sort of like just above the monitor, so so that the thread is peeking out, and then put a quick release mount, and whatever items that you usually use, put a quick release mount on that as well, so you can just quickly interchange it and, you know, pull it out as you need it. But overall, yeah, I think his setup is really good, and I think with these minor changes that I suggest, you know, Jimmy, if you're watching this video, you know, after making these minor changes that I personally thought of, I think your setup could look way nicer and, you know, just even more useful for you. But yeah, what do you personally think about his setup? Let me know down in the comment section below. And you know, Jimmy, if you're watching this setup, let me know if you have made any of these changes. And if you like these types of videos, make sure to drop me a like to let me know, and also let me know what other you know, setups you'd like me to check out next. But you know, thank you all, and make sure to subscribe to this channel if you'd like to help support me and what I do completely for free. Last but not least, you know, thank you all so much for watching and staying tuned to the end, and I hope to see you in the next video.